Hey friends, great to have you back. It's Dr. Vetere, and this workout is called our V-Core exercise workout. Just by the name, we're going to be working on your core muscles. Now, in the newspapers and on the TV programs and at the gym, there's been so much talk and routines that focus in on your core muscles, and it's critically important. That's why there's so much play and so much exposure when we come to understanding the importance of strengthening your core muscles. Now, the first thing is we have to understand what are our core muscles and what do they do. There's 7 core muscles. The first one is called your rectus abdominis, and it's a muscle that attaches from the lower ribs of your rib cage right down to your pubic bone. And the primary function of that muscle is to cause the major contraction of bringing your upper torso together with your lower extremities, your hips, pelvis, and lower extremities. Primary muscle that we've always used when doing sit-ups. The second 2 muscles would be your internal and external oblique muscles. Now, your internal oblique muscles attach from the pelvic rim or the inguinal ligaments and the top of your pelvis area and run diagonally up towards the center line of your rectus abdominal line, okay, where the muscles sort of meet. The primary function of that muscle is to cause a contraction, of course, in a direction from the insertion to the origin. So it contracts the body this way, if we're talking about the right-sided internal oblique. The external oblique runs in the opposite direction and is slightly above, meaning the next layer of muscles over on top of the internal oblique. So the external oblique runs from the ribs, from the outer portion towards the internal or towards the center line of your abdominal area. Now, when we contract our internal and external obliques, for example, if I want to create this movement while I'm trying to bring my right shoulder across towards my left shoulder across towards my right hip, doing this motion like this, I will be using my internal oblique on my right side and my external oblique on my left side. These are the major core muscles in the front part of your abdominal area. Now, there's several other core muscles. We have our hip flexors, which are a combination of your quadricep muscles and another muscle, if you remember one of the previous tapes, called our psoas muscle, and that muscle is responsible for bringing your hip up towards your abdominal area, or your lower leg, your thigh and lower leg up towards your torso, using your hip flexors. On the other side of your hip flexors would be your gluteal muscles, and the gluteal muscles are responsible for bringing your leg and your thigh in extension on your upper torso, okay? And that's basically the buttocks muscles. The next 2 muscles are back muscles, which are called your erector spinae muscles, which attach from the lower part of your spine and go all the way up, attaching right to the vertebrae of your spine, and they're responsible for the extension of your spine, from the lowest part right up to your neck. And then the last group of muscles are called your serratus anterior muscle. Now, these muscles are kind of peculiar. They attach from the middle part of your shoulder blade, which would be right in this area here, and they come across your chest and attach into the rib cage on the side or the flank of your body. They're responsible for swinging the shoulder or the scapula, the wing bone, across the body, okay? They call this like the boxer's muscle. And if you watch professional boxing, you'll see they have very well-defined serratus anterior muscles. And the reason why they call it serratus, because it looks like it has a serrated edge to it, like a serrated knife, because they attach to some of the ribs on the side. Now, the importance of having a strong and stable core set of muscles will improve a number of things. It improves your balance, it improves your energy levels, it improves your ability, just if you wanted to run to the train or if you were playing competitive sports. Everything you do, every action you do, every sporting event, running, every time you throw a ball, every time you jump, or even picking up packages off the floor, every type of activity you do, every exercise you do, It doesn't matter if it's a lower extremity exercise or if you're using your biceps or shoulder muscles. Everything depends on these core muscles being stabilized, okay? Now, one of the other advantages for the core stabilization or having strong core muscles, of course, is to stabilize and strengthen your lower back, of which 80% of our population have lower back trouble. Now, as a chiropractor, I've seen thousands and thousands of patients with lower back trouble. Now, of course, we would adjust the spine and correct the subluxation, but it is vitally important then to cause the core muscles to become strong enough to hold that correction we made in place so the person remains healthy and without any pain and overall health. So what we're going to do in our core program is this. We're going to break it up into 3 different levels of core exercises, or 3 different segments with about 3 different exercises in each program. And what I want you to do is do one section at a time, get used to those exercises, then move to another section. Each one is at the same fitness level. So you can start with either group of 3, but what I want you to do is do 3, master them, get used to doing those exercises, then move to the other ones until you form an excellent, customized core exercise program that you could do every single day in your workouts, okay? Follow along with us now.